Hey guys, tonight we slip quietly beneath the tattered canvas of a medieval war camp. The fire has burned low. The moon barely filters through the smoke. And you're lying on your side, on frozen dirt, with only a threadbare blanket between you and the cold. Someone nearby coughs. Another whispers a prayer. You pretend to sleep, but your eyes stay open, watching the soft orange flicker of dying embers. Tomorrow is battle. And not the kind with banners waving and heroic speeches. No, this will be mud, metal, and the hollow sound of someone gasping for air where grass once grew. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And tell me in the comments, where are you listening from and what time is it there right now? It's always fascinating to know who's drifting off with us around the world. Now, dim the lights. Maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum. And let's ease into tonight's journey together. The ground beneath you isn't flat. There's a root pressing into your hip. But you haven't moved for 20 minutes. No one else is moving either. Everyone is waiting for the sun to rise. And with it, whatever fate tomorrow brings. You've never been in a real fight. Not like this. Once you wrestled your cousin near the river. Once a man shoved you in a tavern and you spilled half your ale. But nothing, not a single moment in your life, has prepared you for the sound of 3,000 boots shifting in the dark. For the creak of leather. For the smell of sweat and old turnips. The stew tonight was questionable. Barley maybe. Turnip probably. A mystery meat you tried not to think about. Now it sits like a warm rock in your gut. Someone starts humming. A low, broken tune that almost sounds like a lullaby until you realize it's a funeral dirge. They stop after a few seconds, and the silence returns, thicker than before. You shift slightly. Your blanket clings to you in damp patches. The man beside you, you're not sure of his name. He's clutching a leather pouch and mouthing something. Maybe a prayer. Maybe a name. You don't ask. Historians still argue whether most medieval armies were trained or simply herded together from fields and villages. Tonight, lying here, you feel like the latter. You were told where to go, given something pointy and left to make peace with your thoughts. You close your eyes. For a second, you're back home. You can almost hear the creak of your mother's chair, the scrape of bread across the wooden table, the crackle of logs on a hearth that's too far away now. But then someone shifts nearby and grunts softly, and you remember where you are. On a battlefield that hasn't been bloodied yet, but will be. You wonder, will you scream? Will you run? Will your body know what to do when the horns sound? You think of your hands, not built for holding blades, but for planting, lifting. Holding your child's fingers when they were too small to walk on their own. A breeze slips through the camp, carrying the smell of rain and iron. Your teeth clench, but not from cold. And still no one speaks, just the long humming pause, before something terrible begins. The sun isn't up yet, but someone's already nudging your boot with theirs. You open your eyes to a sky that's still dark, but just faintly bruised with morning light. You sit up slowly. Your back aches from the ground. Your fingers are stiff. The blanket slips off your shoulders, damp with night air. And now comes the ritual, the quiet scramble to armor up, to dress not for warmth or comfort, but for chaos. Your tunic is rough, wool, scratchy, stained from too many days of sweat and travel. You pull it on anyway. Over it, a padded gambeson, thick enough to stop a glancing blow, but not much else. You tie the cords with numb fingers. The laces don't match. They never have. Next comes the mail. What's left of it? It's not yours, not originally. Someone died in it last spring. But now it's yours because it fits well enough. A few rings are missing, and one shoulder droops heavier than the other. But it's metal. That's more than some can say. You glance around. Most of the others are still dressing. A few are already armed. One man's wearing a helmet 2 sizes too big, stuffed with cloth to keep it from wobbling. Another is cinching a belt tight over a patched-up leather chest piece. that looks like it used to be a saddlebag. You reach for your blade. It's more rust than steel at this point, but it's heavy, and it's sharp at the tip, and it's yours. You slide it into a sheath that hangs awkwardly at your side. It pulls on your hip, throws off your balance. You've never quite gotten used to the weight. Somewhere nearby, a man curses as he drops a piece of chainmail on his foot. Another laughs quietly. The tension cracks for just a moment, but no one says much. You spot the banner being lifted in the distance. It's not fancy. No golden lion or heroic crest. Just a frayed cloth with 3 faded lines and a crooked nail. But it's yours. That's the direction you'll be marching. That's the side you're supposed to kill for. You tighten your belt. Check your boots. Left foot still damp. Right foot missing part of the sole. Historians still debate how standardized medieval gear really was. Some armies had smiths, quartermasters, logistics. Others handed you a pointy stick and a prayer. You're fairly sure yours leans toward the second category. You catch sight of your reflection in a dented helmet. Your eyes look sunken. There's dirt on your cheek you don't remember getting. You touch it and the cold metal of your glove bites your skin. Someone hands you a shield. Wooden, round, cracked near the rim. You test its weight and feel it tremble a little in your grip. You're not sure if it's the shield or your hand. If you're picturing rows of polished knights, lined up like chess pieces, gleaming in the sun, you're about to be sorely disappointed. The truth is, most soldiers look like you. Tired, uneven, pieced together with borrowed parts. A patchwork army of half farmers, half survivors, hoping their boots hold up long enough to die on the right side of the line. You sling your shield over your shoulder. Creaks. Everything creaks. Your knees. Your boots. Even your thoughts feel like old floorboards under pressure. The call comes softly. Not a trumpet. Just a voice. We march. That's it. You glance once at the sky, still gray and reluctant, and then fall in step with the rest. You're going to war, and your pants itch. Your feet hit the earth with a soft, steady rhythm. Not a march exactly, more like a trudge, a weary, uneven shuffle of men wrapped in leather and nerves, each dragging their own doubts behind them like a second shadow. The sky has brightened just enough to show the mist. It hugs the ground, clings to your ankles, makes every step feel like wading through breath. You glance down at your boots. The mud is already halfway up your soles. Your right foot squelches with each stride. You don't remember stepping in anything. But it doesn't matter now. No one's talking. The only sounds are armor creaking, gear rattling, and the low murmur of wind across a damp, open field. A crow calls in the distance. You hate that it feels like a bad omen. But you can't shake it. Your shield digs into your shoulder. Your sword keeps knocking against your thigh. The hill ahead looks small from here, but every step makes it feel farther away. Your legs are already sore. You slept badly, ate worse. And now you're expected to walk into death. Like it's just another Tuesday. Someone behind you stumbles. He grunts, catches himself, keeps going. No one turns around. You pass a puddle and see your reflection. For a moment, you think you look like a soldier. Then the water ripples, and you're just a tired farmer again, pretending to be something else. You reach a slight rise in the ground, and for a second, you can see the other side of the field. Just more mist, and trees in the distance. But somewhere in there, your enemy waits. Men not so different from you. Hungry, cold, dressed in borrowed armor, walking toward the same hill, with the same doubts, and the same itch behind their knees. Historians still argue whether most medieval battles were strategically planned, or just improvised chaos. From where you stand, it looks like no one's in charge. Just a long line of anxious bodies following whoever's ahead. Your stomach growls. You ignore it. The stew is long gone, and your mouth tastes like smoke and old bread. You want to wipe your face, but your gloves are filthy, and you can't really spare the energy anyway. A small stream runs across your path. There's no bridge. You wade through it. The water is cold enough to make your calves tense. Your boots are soaked now, both of them. Someone slips nearby. You hear a curse, and then a splash. A few men chuckle. It doesn't last. You step back onto muddy grass. It squishes beneath you. The hill is getting closer now, but the pit in your stomach gets deeper. Your shoulders feel heavier, not just from the gear, from knowing you're still walking forward. When everything in you wants to turn around, your group slows. A voice up ahead raises slightly, not yelling, just enough to get your attention. They're pointing. You follow their hand. In the distance, barely visible through the fog, a shape moves. Several shapes, banners, lances, figures gathering in the haze. The enemy is here. You inhale sharply. The air feels thicker now, like it's clinging to your throat. You adjust your grip on the shield. Your hand is slick with sweat, even though the wind is cold. You're close enough now to smell the earth. Wet, sour, tinged with something metallic. You hope it's just your imagination. A bird flutters out of a nearby tree. You flinch. So does the man beside you. Neither of you say anything. You just keep walking, one squelching, uneven step at a time. The battlefield isn't a place. It's a feeling, and you're in it now, even if nothing has started yet. The fog doesn't clear. It just thins a little, as if reluctant to reveal what comes next. You've reached the edge of the field. There's no clear line, no grand entrance, just grass trodden flat, mud thickening with every footstep, and a silence that rings louder than any horn. Someone ahead calls a name. No one answers. Your commander, if you can call him that, rides past slowly on a horse that looks just as anxious as the rest of you. He doesn't speak, just nods. You're not sure if it's meant to inspire confidence or quietly say goodbye. You try to flex your fingers. They barely move inside the stiff gloves. You roll your shoulders, adjust your shield, and glance to either side. Rows of men, faces tight and pale, some murmuring to themselves, some with eyes closed, some staring dead ahead, as if pretending hard enough will make them disappear. The horn blows. It's not dramatic, more like a long, tired groan from some brass throat that's been through this before. Still, it cuts through the fog, through your bones, through whatever last illusion you had that this wasn't real. Your feet move, not because you choose to, because the line moves, and you move with it. Your heart is too loud, too fast. You hear it more than you hear the shouts, more than the crunch of boots, more than the rising sound of weapons being drawn. And then, the shouting starts. Not orders, not strategy, just raw, unshaped noise. Fear, fury, defiance, all tangled in the same cracked voices. You're running now, sort of, as much as your gear allows. Your breath catches in your throat. Your legs feel heavy. You don't know where to look. Ahead? Down? At the man beside you whose mouth is open in a wordless yell. The ground is uneven. You stumble, catch yourself. Mud sucks at your heels. Something flies past. A rock, an arrow. You don't look back. And then it happens. The clash. Bodies slam into bodies. Shields meet shields. Swords strike metal, wood, flesh. You can't tell. The sound is everything, all at once. A bell ringing inside a hurricane. You raise your weapon, not even thinking. Instinct, panic, pure motion. It meets something solid. You pull back. Raise it again. You're not sure if you've hit or missed. The man in front of you lunges. You duck. A shield crashes against your side. You twist. Fall sideways. Mud coats your hands. You scramble to your feet. Someone screams. Someone else gurgles. And then they're gone, lost in the swirl. There's no formation. No noble duels. Just people shoving, swinging, slipping. You jab your blade forward. Feel it connect with something soft. A gasp. Then nothing. You want to stop. Catch your breath. But there's no time. Another man swings at you. You barely raise your shield in time. The impact stings. You stagger, lurch forward, elbow someone in the ribs. You don't know who. You don't care. This isn't battle. It's survival. And not even elegant survival. It's ugly, loud, wet. Historians often describe battles as decisive or tactical. From where you stand, it's just noise and motion and hoping you don't get crushed. You see someone fall. Their foot slides in the mud. They hit the ground hard. And before they can rise, a boot finds their chest. Then another. They vanish beneath the line, like a stone thrown into a raging river. You swing again. Your arm burns. Your legs shake. There's blood on your glove. Not yours, maybe. You hope. The line pushes forward, then pulls back. You're part of it now, whether you want to be or not. And the screaming hasn't stopped. You don't know how long it's been. Minutes, maybe? Or hours. Time doesn't move the same here. It stretches, snaps, loops around like a broken cartwheel. Your world has narrowed to a few feet in every direction. Your shield. Your blade. The two men closest to you. And the next breath you're desperate to take. The fog has lifted slightly, but not enough to see clearly. Shapes still flicker in and out of view. Swinging, stumbling, falling. Some rise again. Some don't. Your arm is numb. Your shoulder screams with every motion. You've stopped thinking about what you're hitting. You're just swinging, reacting, hoping you stay upright. The man next to you is panting hard. Blood streaks down his cheek. You don't know his name. You don't ask. There's no more line. No more front or back. Just clumps of men. Fighting in circles. Back to back. Or completely alone. A rider charges past. His horse wild-eyed and foaming at the mouth. The rider yells something, but it's swallowed by the noise. Moments later, you hear the horse scream a terrible, human-like sound. Then the crunch of weight hitting earth. You stumble again. Not from a blow, but from the uneven ground. It's slick now. Mud, blood, bits of torn cloth, and who knows what else. Your foot slides, and you fall to one knee. You push yourself up, gasping, just as someone crashes into your back. You lurch forward, nearly drop your weapon, but keep moving, always moving. A man swings at you. You don't even see his face. Your shield catches it, but barely. The impact knocks you sideways. Your ears ring. Your mouth tastes like iron. You back away, blindly, and bump into someone else. You turn, raise your weapon, then stop, to someone from your side. He looks just as lost as you. Historians sometimes romanticize the melee, as if it were a grand test of skill and courage. But down here, it's confusion, and noise, and pain, and fear. Fear so sharp it slices deeper than any blade. You hear someone crying, a grown man, sobbing openly as he crawls toward the edge of the field. No one stops him. No one can. You duck as something whistles past your head. An arrow, a rock, you're not sure anymore. Your senses are overloaded. Everything smells like sweat and copper and old leather. Your blade catches on something. You pull it free. It's sticky. You don't look at what you've hit. There's no time. Your breathing is ragged. You want to scream, but your throat won't work. Your mind has gone quiet, like it's shielding itself from what your body is doing. You swing again, and again, and again, until your muscles burn, and your eyes blur, and your legs threaten to collapse beneath you. You think of water, of shade, of anything that isn't here. You try to remember your home, the smell of hay, the sound of your child's laughter. But it slips away. All that's left is this moment, raw, ugly, endless. Your grip loosens. You tighten it. Your shield arm sags. You lift it again. You're not fighting for victory. You're fighting to not fall, to not be the next body, trampled underfoot. And the battle rages on. Your legs finally give out. Not from a wound, just exhaustion. You stumble backward. catching yourself against another man who barely notices. He's bleeding from his mouth, swinging wildly, and when you push off him, he disappears into the mist like smoke. You bend over, hands on knees, shield dangling from one arm, blade dragging in the mud. Your lungs burn. Your throat is raw. You swallow hard, and it tastes like blood, though you're not sure if it's yours. Then, a sudden shift in noise. The rhythm breaks. The clash lessens. The screaming thins out. Someone yells, "Fall back." Not an order, a plea. You lift your head and see it. Men turning, running, dropping weapons, shields. Whatever slowed them down. Their faces are wide-eyed, mouths open, not even looking back to see who follows. Panic moves faster than arrows. You feel it spread like fire through dry grass. One man bolts, then another. Soon it's everyone. You're swept up in it, feet stumbling into a run before your brain agrees. You don't look behind you. You don't want to see what's coming. All you know is that whatever it is, you're not ready. Mud clings to your boots, sucks at your ankles with every step. You nearly fall again. Catch yourself on a discarded pike, and keep running. Around you, men trip and vanish into the churn. Some scream. Some are silent. You leap over a body. Someone you passed earlier in the line. His eyes are still open. You push the image away. A tree line is up ahead, low and distant, but it means cover, escape, maybe safety. You run toward it like it's your childhood home. The air is thick. Every breath is a struggle. You drop your shield. Too heavy. Too slow. You don't need it anymore. You just need to live. You hear hoofbeats. Fast. Hard. Close. Cavalry. You veer sideways. Someone beside you doesn't. The sound of a rider crashing into flesh echoes in your ears. You don't turn around. Your legs scream. Your back twists with every movement. You're not running anymore. You're falling forward in controlled collapse. One step at a time. Historians sometimes refer to these moments as a rout. Clean word. Tactical. Measured. But this is terror. Naked. Animal. The part of your brain that says, "Get out." Louder than anything else ever could. You reach the edge of the field. Thorns tear at your tunic. Branches scratch your cheeks. But you push through them, because the sound behind you is death. The trees swallow you. Not entirely. You're still too loud, too clumsy, too human. But the fog thickens here, and for a moment, you're just another shadow between trunks. You collapse behind a stump, chest heaving, fingers clawing at the ground, trying to become smaller, trying not to cry, because if you cry, you'll make noise, and noise is risk. You bite your tongue. Around you, others crawl, stagger, whimper. Some keep running deeper into the woods. Others lie down and don't move. You press your back to the stump, close your eyes, and breathe as quietly as you can. Your weapon is gone. Your shield is gone. Your name feels gone too. But you're alive. For now. Time slips again. You don't know how long you sit there. Minutes, maybe, or the length of a season. Eventually, the noise fades. The hoofbeats grow distant. The screaming stops. And all that remains is the occasional rustle of leaves and the dull thump of your heart. You rise slowly, legs trembling, every muscle unsure if it's allowed to stop bracing for impact. The woods around you are eerily quiet, like the world is holding its breath. You step over a fallen branch and begin to walk, not with purpose, just with the need to move. The trees thin, and the edge of the battlefield comes back into view. What's left of it? The fog has lifted now, and in the gray morning light, you can finally see bodies everywhere, piled, sprawled, crumpled, weapons scattered like toys dropped mid-play, shields broken, flags half buried in mud. You walk slowly, eyes darting, not sure what you're looking for. Someone you know? Your old commander? Your own sense of self? A man limps past you in the opposite direction. He doesn't look at you. His arm is bound with a strip of cloth, and his eyes are hollow. You pass what was once a cart. The shattered will snapped, contents spilled across the field. Iron nails, a half loaf of bread, a boot with no foot inside. Farther ahead, a small group kneels. They're picking through the fallen, not checking for life, checking for value. A belt, a pouch, a dagger that didn't break. You grip your fists, but you don't stop them. You wouldn't. Even if you could. You understand. You step over a lance. Its tip is bent, splattered with something dark. You don't want to know. The stench has changed. It's no longer just mud and sweat. It's death now, thick, metallic, with a sour edge that clings to your tongue. You cover your mouth with your sleeve. It doesn't help. You find the spot where your line once stood. It's nothing now. Just crushed grass and scattered armor. A helmet lies upside down, a feather still attached, soggy and wilted. Historians still debate whether these aftermaths were considered victories, or just massacres. From where you stand, there's no celebration, no trumpets, no chants, just silence, and the slow, grim sorting of what's left behind. You see a young boy, no more than 15, sitting next to a body. He's not crying, just staring. He holds a short sword across his lap, its tip resting in the mud. You nod to him. He doesn't respond. You walk on. Your feet feel heavier with each step. Not from weight, from knowing, from the things you've seen that will never quite leave you. A figure ahead is dragging a shield. It leaves a trail in the mud, carving a quiet line across the chaos. They disappear into the haze. The battlefield stretches wider than you remember. Or maybe it's just that now, without fear fogging your eyes, you can finally see how far the ruin goes. You find a stump and sit. The same as earlier, but now it feels different. Now it's not hiding. Now it's just stillness. The birds have returned. Not all, but a few. Crows mostly. They land carefully, quietly. They're not in a hurry. You close your eyes, not to sleep, not yet, but to rest, to float above it. Just for a moment, before deciding what comes next. You rise from the stump with slow, careful steps. Your body feels older somehow, heavier, like the weight of the day has settled into your bones. Not just your armor. The sky is no longer gray. It's shifted into that strange, soft light that comes after a storm. Not quite warm, but no longer cold. It's quiet, but not peaceful. There's too much left behind for that. You walk back across the field, retracing the path your boots carved just hours earlier. It's barely recognizable now. The grass is gone, trampled into mud and memory. The faces are still, some familiar, most not. You see someone you knew, not well, but enough to nod to. He's lying face up, eyes closed, as if mid-thought. His hand still grips the hilt of a broken blade. You don't stop. You can't. You've already run out of grief, run out of disbelief. All that's left is motion. Up ahead, smoke curls from a few small fires. Someone started cooking. It smells like onions and wet wool. You're not hungry, but your stomach growls anyway. You reach the edge of a camp. Not yours. Not exactly, but a place where survivors have gathered. There's no singing, no drinking, just tired men and tired eyes. A few are cleaning blades. Most are just sitting, letting the silence fill whatever space is left in them. You lower yourself onto a crate. Creaks beneath you. You don't care. No one talks about what just happened. Not because they've forgotten, but because they can't say it yet. A man nearby unwraps a bandage. His arm is red, swollen. He stares at it for a moment, then wraps it back up, as if acknowledging it makes it worse. Someone else hums softly. Not a tune you know, not one you want to know. Historians will write about this day. They'll give it a name. They'll draw maps, list casualties, debate tactics, but none of them will write your name. You won't be in the scrolls. You won't be etched into stone. You'll just be one of the many who stood, swung, ran, and somehow lived. And that, quietly, will have to be enough. You lean back, let the soft clatter of pots and quiet rustle of canvas lull your thoughts. Your hands are sore, your face itches, your body will ache for days. But for now, you're still here. The sun peeks through the clouds, catches on a broken spear, makes it gleam for a second, as if trying to trick you into thinking something noble happened here. But you know better. There was no glory, just mud, and fear, and silence, after everything else fell away. And still, the world spins forward. So now, you can let it all go. The weight of the armor, the noise of the battlefield, the echoes of fear and dust and shouting. Leave them behind. They're far away now. Breathe in slowly. Let the silence fill the space where the chaos used to live. There are no more horns, no more running, no more mud beneath your boots. Only soft ground now, and the sound of nothing at all. You're not out there anymore. You're here, safe, still, wrapped in quiet, and maybe even a little warmth. Let your limbs grow heavy. Let your thoughts slow. Let your breath match the rhythm of the dark. There's nothing else you need to do. Nothing to fight. Nothing to fear. Only rest. And a night that holds you gently. As you drift. Sleep well. And sweet dreams.